Hey there, YouTube. How you guys doing? Alright, let's switch it up a little bit. We're not going to abandon Subnautica because we've actually done quite a lot of work there, but that aquatic, it's kind of like going to the swimming pool. Like, you don't want to spend all day at the swimming pool. Like, all day? All day? Like, no. Come on. We've got other games to try. We've got this game called KONA. What I like about the Game Pass is while you get stuck on one game, it gives plenty of time for a whole bunch of other ones, a whole bunch of other games to become available. Like this KONA, I have no idea what it's about. Nothing. Just a cold start, see what this is all about. So this is KONA. What do you think, Yoda? You ready? Alright. Talk about my ladder over here. At least I know where I go. There, go sit down. Snow, huh? That's different. This is on the Game Pass. I'm so sorry, we've got another presidential race coming up. I like to pretend it's like the WWF. Millions of people are into it. It's got enough fans. It's got enough money going into it. It's got so many people involved. It just doesn't need me. So, I tried it one year. It was not fun. I did not enjoy it. So, I suggest stay out of it.
For a living.
Play games.
That is to say that ever since he returned from Korea, after having served with the armed forces, he had been working as a private investigator in Montreal. William Hamilton, a rich industrialist, had gotten in touch with him regarding a simple vandalism issue. Nothing to write home about. Not worth hiring a private eye either, just so he can drive for hours on rough roads. But that's how it had always been. The client pays, Carl gets it done. They had set up to meet at the general store, his client's business. Well, actually, the entire village had William Hamilton's name written all over it.
While driving to distract himself.
When the roads were bad, muddy, or snowed in, it was customary around these parts to close them off. But it was also customary to ignore those signs entirely and drive there anyway.
rest stop. We're going to not do our regular look at absolutely everything.
Carl was meeting his client in a store near this area. He was on the right track.
All right. Who say that? Let's turn the sensitivity down.
Still not a soul in sight. There was no point in waiting any longer. Carl had to figure this one out by himself. Hamilton never mentioned a road-blocking barrier. Why was it needed here in the back of Beyond? That would, however, be a mystery for another day. Carl had waited long enough for someone to come and raise it.
Well, we'll probably get through this gate with a key, I reckon. Let's see here. No key, no key. Manistan. It'll be good for her. It will be good. Okay.
Hamilton no doubt knew who managed the barrier. Carl wanted to give him a call, but that would have been too easy, though, as sure enough, the line was acting up.
Too easy, huh? Too easy, huh? Well, maybe somebody put it up high. Maybe somebody put it high. Weird. I got the fire starter. I picked up the fire starter.
Emperor Duplessis, in spite of his conservative agenda, did a good job in colonizing the rural north, which helped to reestablish the region as an integral part of the province of Quebec. The blue fleur-de-lis could be seen fluttering in the wind here and there, taunting the red Canadian flags on the other side of the province's boundaries.
Great graphics. I mean, this looks really good. I love the trees. It's nice not to be underwater. I'm just saying, take a break. No rubber double glove. And who did they get to? The narrator sounds very familiar. I'm thinking Andy something, like Andy, not, I can't think of his name. Had his own show. Comedian.
Hamilton is waiting for Carl in the general store. It was time for him to get down to business.
Well, how did Hamilton get to the store? Carl wondered to himself, I sure hope the person I'm meeting was able to get through the barrier or lives on the other side of the barrier.
William Hamilton enjoyed a lavish country house built in the very heart of the northern forests, not too far from here.
Okay.
The local populace was divided when it came to the affluent men. Some saw a wealthy philanthropist dedicated to improving the region's economy.
I love his flavor.
Others an aging Englishman who would do anything to further his fortunes. And those ones hated him enough to go on about scheming against him. Hamilton had recently acquired a few local businesses, but the last straw was the reopening of a mine, which gave rise to a wave of protests and threats from the Cree people.
The Indians.
Given these circumstances, Carl reckoned that a good number of people must be feeling compelled to oppose Hamilton in one way or another. So far, only the industrialist's house had been a target, but soon enough, Carl thought, the target would become the man himself.
Because of the Cree? Oh, shit. Oh! Whoops. A few hours later.
Carl needed to get out of there. The cold and the pain required urgent care.
Let's check the other car first.
The driver had taken off. It was still best to check it out and leave nothing to chance. Carl needed help.
I wasn't speeding.
It was a small, locked box engraved with the letters W.H. Carl thought about taking it. Nothing was to be left to chance.
White House.
This deep in the country, his last hope was to find an abandoned garage or a farm by the roadside. His life depended on it.
The snow this morning was white. Whiter than any paper he'd ever written his morning thoughts on. He came across a place called...
Carl wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold.
Hello? Freezing to death outside. Sorry.
Even better than he had hoped. Carl Faubert had succeeded once more, and was now on his way to new adventures.
Heck yeah, he is. Look at this. Alright, I gotta figure that. That's driving me nuts. Where is David? Andy Griffith, that's who. No, that's not Andy Griffith. Around the same... Let's see, maybe if we look at KONA. bash.
A fire is as good as the materials used to create it. Carl's scout training was buried deep in his memory. What do you need again to start a fire?
Well, the other one I do's have stuff in it. It's like on a lake or a fucking cave or... Look, there's a bow. So we got a bow. Our guy like freezing to death. It's like water. It's like fucking slushy. Alright, so we started a fire. It gets warm here. Cool. Alright. Nice. He's alive and he's warm. Take a seat, buddy. Ah! Okay. What do you want to do now, Craig? I've been through an ice storm. That sounds like walking on ice sticks. The ice storm, everything is frozen. Just nothing but ice. Yeah. How's my car? I need to heal my wounds, so let's see if that's what I'm going to do with that house. I think probably food.
Carl, ever diligent in his work, always carried his log on him, in which he scribbled down thoughts and leads alike during the course of his investigations.
This must be his hunting lodge.
Carl, like many of his contemporaries, felt like he had more trouble breathing when he wasn't smoking. Cigarette was his own personal breathing assistant. Complaining was not in Carl's nature. It would take more than light injuries to interrupt his investigation.
I found some health. Nice. Like my brain wants to be like, "Oh, I don't like this." It's like you haven't done anything. Stupid. Me. Did we do it? So we got some change for the truck. Yeah. We did it. Well, we found that guy's hunting lodge, but we're still going to need to hopefully go into town. We did it, Yoda. We did it. Never have a good. Road somewhere. This happens all the time. No biggie. Unless you make it the biggie. 'Cause there it is. That's why you don't make it a biggie. It's absolutely useful. Oh, 9 o'clock. victims.
Spread out on a few acres of untouched forest, bellowing caribou, everlasting snow, and undefiled lakes, the Manistan region was no tourist hub. It was said to have been populated for millennia by Cree people, and ever since the industrial era, by the metal mining industry. Running on fumes. Good thing that the general store was close by.
Fair. Totally fair. Like you can just imagine it like on a spring day.
wondered how long he would have to endure this skin-stinging cold. Carl felt that the store and its surroundings still held their secrets, and he didn't like to miss out. Carl was used to strange phenomena, but a chunk of ice like this, as if an iceberg came out of the ground, that was a first. Maintaining his composure, Carl recalled something from his military training. Wolves always stay away from populated areas. Wait, was it about bears? Carl was no electrician, but he could identify a wiring problem when he saw one. A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit. A milkman had to drive by every week to fill the bottles. The fresh milk indicated a recent visit. Gilles Lachance owned the general store. That is, before Hamilton got his hands on it. The pumps wouldn't surrender their divine nectar so easily. In all likelihood, they had to be switched on from inside the store.
Well, I hope they're here. Looks kind of doubtful. I got a mail.
Something fell to the bottom of the box.
Oh no.
Carl had no trouble recognizing his employer. He had been killed. There was no need to be a detective to figure that out. But only a detective could have noticed that the killer had to have been very close, that the fatal blow had been given before the victim even realized. Carl felt a chill down his spine and had a terrifying realization. If Hamilton was dead, then who was going to pay him?
Hey.
What could be inside that envelope? Carl was taken aback. He knew this address. It was said to be the address of the P.O. box for the Canadian Secret Service.
Alright, so you can get to... One, we live in the third dimension, right? But then there's the fourth wall to... Fourth wall between the 3D and what? Because this is like being inside of a book and a video game and a movie. Center the directions information. All right. So it's this... Did he own the general store? I know he owned the shop. The hunting cabin. That must be like P.O. boxes. Alright, John, I'm taking these.
Jumping from that height was akin to tempting death. Perhaps that man on the snowmobile had seen enough of this world already.
This place is cool. We might need that crank. We're gonna need the crank from the last place. Yeah, I was right. Post office.
A nice picture of the Magasin Lachance store, seemingly taken the day it was first opened. It feels frozen in time, from an era long forgotten. Amateur hunters showing some pride at having killed a nice pelted beast. With men like this roaming the area, wolves would become extinct within 10 years, Carl thought. The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Turn off the garage. Turn on the main store. Now turn on the garage.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
There we go.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
Whoa.
An explosion suddenly occurred outside.
Oh, a tree fell. That's what the noise was. This tree fell down. Oh, and the power line.
The note explained that the garage and the store couldn't be supplied with electricity at the same time.
come see what I did real quick?
But
Will you come see what I did real quick?
can I look at that after I'm done with my stream? Yeah, I don't want to just get up to go. It'll be done when I'm done. Nice.
Carl knew that Gilles Lachance was in charge of the general store. That made him one of Hamilton's employees. A very angry employee, as Carl could plainly see.
That was so nice. Alright. This game is like reading a boring book. Sorry. I think I'm allowed to not like games. I don't like this one. This is... Jake thought to himself, oh my god, is this seriously the game? And in a haste response to boredom, uninstalled it. So I want to try the Castlevanias. There's a couple others that I'll come back with. I'll go see what my wife wanted.